it's always nice to see people's faces on a Zoom and put names to faces and all the things. So let's put in the chat where you're coming in from, where you're zooming in from. And if you are a guest here tonight, it is crucial. So if you've been on some of these before, you know the drill. We want to know who our guests are, who are on here, because we are going to do a giveaway. So we do some little briberies. We're going to be giving away a hair oil specific tonight. This is one of my favorite products. So how do you win, right? Well, you win by participating. So when we're talking, when we're discussing, put into the chat. If you have any questions throughout tonight, throw them in the chat. And, at the end, if we do have time, Angie will definitely answer them. And if not, I'm going to write them down and I'm going to send her an email with any of your questions to make sure that they are answered. Okay. So we do have limited time tonight. I know we could all use Angie for hours after hours and ask her questions after questions, but we are on a time frame tonight. So if we can't get to all of them, we will make sure that we have that. Okay. So I am recording, which is great because sometimes I forget to do that. and we are going to get started. So tonight is all about hair. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Tracy Zimmer and I'm coming to you from Calgary, Alberta in Canada. And we do these master classes every Thursday, okay? Every Thursday, we get our planners on, we get our customers on, we get people who've never heard about our brand before on to learn about our products. So specifically, we tend to talk a lot about our skincare because that's our flagship products. But when we get to talk about hair, I love our hairline. I mean, I feel like that could be a standalone company on its own because it's that good. And there are so many nitty-gritties and specifics about it that I'm not even aware of. But what I do know is when I use this line, my hair feels healthier. It is shinier. My scalp feels better. And my hair tends to need a visit to the hairstylist sooner than it used to be. So I don't know about any of you out there. I'm 48 years old and I have felt the aftermath of getting older, of like losing some hair. And I've got a lot of hair, but I used to have double the amount of hair. Like, honestly, I feel like I've lost a lot of hair. Just, my age, stressors in life, all the things that we go through. So if you've felt that, let us know in the chat. Like, do you know somebody that has maybe felt that? Or maybe do you know somebody, maybe you've got dull hair. Maybe you're looking for like more volume, more fullness, more shine, all the things. But I know for me, I did feel that loss of hair. And this has just brought my confidence back with my hair again. This little strand right here that tend to always be breaking off up here has come down to here now. So I love that. And like I said, I just put some hair oil in before this call. So gives me a little bit of shine. I use this after the shower when my hair is wet to kind of detangle. And then on days where I'm not washing my hair, I'm using it to like give it a pick me up and just give it that luster and all the things. So tonight we are going to learn all about the hair. And this is something I am so excited for. Get your notebooks and pens out because you definitely want to take some notes. Angie is an absolute master in everything that we have here at Remon. She is our go-to. She is our person we ask questions to. And what I love the most about it, I don't need to know it all. I don't need to know all the things in the ingredients in our products. I don't need to know the science behind it. I don't need to know the philosophy behind it. I'm not the scientist. I'm not the specialist. We have Angie that does that. So she makes these lovely, lovely videos. If you are on Instagram, follow her on We Are Remon. She is amazing. She makes little clips. You're going to be educated throughout. So I am so excited for tonight. Angie, I know you've got a lot of credentials behind your name, and I'm not going to try to even get into all the things that you have. I'm going to let you introduce yourself and then take it from there. So again, guys, as we're going through, please let us know if there's any questions in the chat. I will take note of them, and if we have time, we will make sure and get those answered for you. Also, you want to stay on because we have some incredible testimonials from people like you or I sharing about this product line as well. Okay. So Angie, I'm just going to stop this and let you come on and tell everybody who you are, all the things that you have behind your name, because I would probably miss them all. But what I do know is that she is so educated around our products. So thank you so much for being here. We always love hearing from you. I know you do product universities for us as well, which is always so great for all of us to be able to hear. And for me, when I hear Angie talk, it just gives me like so much confidence behind our products, knowing I don't need to know it all, but what Angie shares with us, I feel confident sharing these products with other people. So there we go. Take it away, Angie. Again, thanks for being here.
Tracy, thank you so much. You had me blushing a little, a little bit at your compliments. I so appreciate your warm introduction. And for everyone here today, thank you for making the time to be here. If you are a familiar face to me and we already discussed, various topics via the ritual inbox, or we've even met in person, thank you for coming to another discussion. And for those of you that are new, it is a pleasure to meet you. Now, exactly as Tracy had said, I am the product training and development manager for Remon North America. I directly collaborate with HQ on all of our pre-existing products and their stories, but also, of course, in all of the innovation. A large part of my role is not just that development, but of course, the training of the products. How can we educate so that you feel empowered in creating your own Remon ritual? And of course, in my previous expertise as a cosmetic chemist and as a salesperson in the raw material side of the personal care industry, I really have a grasp of the understanding of the importance of ingredient selection in formula, how you're really creating something that's different, often based within that formulation. So today, we're really going to see that with the discussion of our hair care products, how Remon is proving that Remon difference through the performance of our hair care products. And we'll start first with an understanding of your hair physiology. And I think this gives us a really nice base to ultimately understand what the products are doing when you apply them to your scalp and to your strands, what really is involved in the system when you are applying these products as well. And as Tracy said, you do not need to commit this to memory unless you like it, unless you are a nerd like me, but just understanding this is really to help you create your own ritual and help others do the same. Now, when we look to your hair in a general overview, you have approximately 5 million different hair follicles. Hair grows roughly all over the entirety of your body, save for a few areas like your palms and the soles of your feet, the vermilion zone of your lips, but it plays a huge part not only in aesthetics, but in self-expression and protection as well. So, of course, you can utilize your hair to dye it, cut it in any way that you like to express yourself and to feel confident in yourself. But you also have the various performances based on the location of your hair. For example, it can offer protection against external elements. It can offer thermal regulation, especially with your body hairs, and even UV protection with the hair on your scalp. So hair is not only crucial for the performance it has in these various benefits, but of course also for the aesthetic benefits it has. Now, if the hair growth or the follicular structure of your hair is unbalanced, this can have an impact, or rather a severe impact, on the perceived hair health of your hair. So it's crucial to have, not only balance in your daily life, your extrinsic and intrinsic factors, your exposures, your diet, but also to utilize products that are really meant to maintain just basic cellular hair health to ultimately have beautiful hair at the same time. Now, when we come to formulating a hair care product, we're not merely looking at the hair strands, the visible part of your hair. You also have to conceptualize the hair follicle. This is actually what is considered the living part of your hair. As soon as your hair protrudes out from your skin, it's now actually considered dead. But it's important to note that it's really biologically dead, but it's still chemically alive. You can still dye it, you can still treat it and hydrate it, all of those things, but it is biologically dead once it is grown from the scalp. But here we're looking at everything living, everything that is currently differentiating and dividing to grow a strand out of the scalp. Now, what you see here is a depiction of the pilosebaceous unit. This is essentially your hair follicle, and the pilosebaceous unit is specifically located within the dermis, which is that second layer of your skin, but it's actually part of your epidermis. If you can see here, that top layer of your skin folds inward and around the hair follicle to protect it and to have the supply of necessary nutrients and oxygen constantly reaching the growing hair follicle. Now, all of that growth begins at the hair bulb down here. It's the region that is actively producing hair. The hair bulb receives a cluster of blood vessels from the dermis, which pushes into the bulb to form the hair papilla. Now, the hair papilla or dermal papilla is really where the oxygen and the nutrients via the blood vessels come to encourage the growth of a hair follicle, actively supplying growing cells in the hair follicle so that you're forming this strand of hair. Now, in that understanding, and because of the necessary deposition of various nutrients in this area, it's crucial to maintain healthy hair growth via follicular health. So maintaining a healthy follicle, a healthy and functioning hair bulb is how you ultimately are going to get healthy hair growth. Excuse me. So all of this considered, at the base of your hair follicle is also where we have melanocytes. If any of you have attended Product University, we had identified that melanocytes are the cell types that create pigment. They create melanin. So it's going to be eumelanin or pheomelanin, which gives you black hair, brown hair, or blonde, red hair. All of that is also happening as you are differentiating at this hair bulb. It's also really important to note that the creation of a hair follicle and of a hair strand is very similar to our skin cell cycle. Essentially, cells are born, they compact together, and they slowly die off, creating that hard keratin shaft that becomes your hair shaft. All of that, of course, is very detailed, but what is crucial to note here is that your hair follicle is that living piece of your hair, and it needs some TLC with your products and, of course, with your daily dietary habits and daily exposures. Now, that biologically dead but chemically alive portion is known as your hair shaft. Your hair shaft is equally important in consideration, and especially for the formulation of hair care products. It's the visible part of your hair that really is what we are manipulating in our day-to-day with our styling and dyeing and blow drying, whatever it may be. It has three key parts that you can see depicted here. The internal portion is the medulla, and the medulla is not well understood. Even with years of understanding that it exists, scientists have still not illuminated a basic role or reason for the presence of the medulla. And in certain hair types, it's actually completely absent. There is no medulla. What's crucial for our discussion are the other two components, the cortex surrounding the medulla and the cuticle outside of the cortex. Now, the cortex is really where all of the important hair interactions and bonds are happening. So as I had mentioned in the last slide, you have your melanocytes producing melanin, the pheomelanin, eumelanin. All of that pigment is housed in the cortex. Your cuticle is actually translucent, and so light goes through it, hits the pigment in the cortex, and produces your hair color. But furthermore, within the cortex, you have all of the bonds that give hair its strength and also give it its shape. So you have both strong and weak bonds. A weak bond, for example, is a hydrogen bond. Essentially, hydrogen atoms existing within your cortex are bound together and easily broken when you heat style your hair, when you wet your hair, and they reform again when you wet your hair again or style it again. So that is why oftentimes if you style your hair, you straighten it or curl it, and you step out in a humid day, the water and the H2, the hydrogen molecules in the water in the atmosphere are breaking those hydrogen bonds and causing you to lose your style. But we also have very strong bonds present in the cortex, and namely that is our disulfide bonds. These disulfide bonds really contribute to the strength of your hair, and once these are broken, they cannot be repaired. You oftentimes will break disulfide bonds to remove pigment in bleaching treatments and to deposit color. And so when you break those disulfide bonds, you of course have to be more gentle with your hair, perhaps brush it less frequently, wash it less frequently. But there's new products out that are also exploring the possibility of refortifying disulfide bonds. That's a very new technology. There's still a lot to be understood in that category. But typically it is understood that hydrogen bonds can be broken and reformed. Disulfide bonds traditionally cannot. Now, when we look at the outside of the cuticle, this is protecting everything, protecting that cortex from daily exposures. As you can see here, it's protecting from UV damage, from dust or pollutants entering the hair or irritating the hair strand, and of course, water as well. Now, if you have a cuticle that is not properly aligned, say for example, you have some breakage or you overstyle your hair, and so you have some kind of frizz and flyaways at the surface, but deep down it's really some cuticle misalignment or breakage, then you're going to allow some susceptibility to the entrance of water into the hair or the entrance of UV light rays or also the pollutants or the dust particles as well. So when you are appreciating a cosmetic hair care product, more often than not, we are targeting that cuticle. We're not looking to disrupt any of those bonds in the cortex. We're not looking to dye your hair or remove any color if you've already dyed your hair. We're looking to fortify that cuticle, make it nice and shiny and perfectly aligned so that your hair feels soft, feels conditioned, but also feels protected from those daily exposures. Oops. Yeah. And so what's key to note about the hair is, of course, it also has its own growth cycle, which I mentioned a few slides back. And there are three main stages that your hair can be in any moment in time. Your anagen phase is the growth phase and is the longest phase. So hair can spend from anywhere from 2 to 8 years in this anagen growth phase. It's really what most of our hair on our scalp is in at any moment in time. So roughly 80% of the hair, roughly 80% of the hair on your scalp is in the anagen phase at any given time. What's cool is that the other hair on your body, your eyelashes or your body hair, it has a shorter anagen phase of roughly 30 to 45 days. That's why that hair grows much more short, or rather much shorter before eventually sloughing off and a new hair begins to grow in the follicle. Now, your catagen phase is a transitional stage. It's roughly 1 to 2 weeks in length, and the growth stops and the bulb detaches from the root, as you can see in this depiction. So the hair strand is essentially getting ready to fall out of the hair follicle. In the telogen phase, this is realistically a resting phase. The hair strand is fully detached and the hair follicle is preparing for the next cycle to essentially re-enter into the anagen phase. Now, hair growth is regulated by vascular, endocrine, and neural stimuli, in addition to age and your nutritional habits. So all of this is a general framework. Now, hair from your scalp is shed at approximately 100 to even 200 follicles a day. So it's okay to lose hair every single day. It's part of that natural hair growth, hair growth cycle. And it otherwise grows at roughly a 1 centimeter per month rate. So understanding this again also helps you regulate expectations of your hair care products, what you were looking from them in terms of the maintenance of hair health, in terms of maintaining your hair growth cycle as well. Also understanding that there are so many other factors that ultimately contribute to your hair growth cycle. And so as we finish up here on the details of hair physiology, we of course also have the consideration of different hair types. Hair can be classified in many, many different ways by your curl pattern, the density, the color of your hair, the perceived health of your hair, and more. For example, we have hair density in the classifications of coarse, medium, or fine hair. We also have hair color determined by both the eumelanin and pheomelanin contents. So with eumelanin, that's going to give you dark brown or black melanin, or rather pigment, pheomelanin, red or blonde. So you can have one strand with pheomelanin, one strand full of eumelanin. That's what really gives us the differences between individuals and also between ethnic groups. With the classification based on thickness, we have coarse being really the thickest hair type. Medium hair is usually considered the standard to which other types are compared, and fine hair is the thinnest. Often it is the most susceptible to damage or the most fragile. Also, in the consideration of different hair types, you can have multiple different types all in consideration of your unique hair. The hair type can be coarse and auburn and wavy and straight. So all of these different ways do not uniquely define a hair. They can all work together to ultimately categorize a specific phenotype of hair. Now, with the classification on curl patterns specifically, this is really important to acknowledge, especially from a formulation standpoint and from a scientific perspective, because we have so many different needs for the hair based on curl pattern. You have various different types, and even within the types, there are more categorizations. Type 4 being coily, well, you can also have 4A and 4B and 4C. You can have 2A and 2B and 2C. And so all of these considerations within curl pattern allows for really a determination of what ingredients are best for your hair, what type of exposures in terms of how much water you should be using, how frequently during the week you should use. All of this comes into play with curl pattern, but of course also with hair density. Now, when we identify curl pattern, it's unique to see that they actually grow differently from the hair to create these different curl patterns. Straight hair grows pretty much straight up perpendicular from the epidermis, whereas wavy and curvy hair begin to take on an angle in the hair follicle, protruding from the hair, or rather protruding from the scalp at an angle that gives that curl. Furthermore, if you were to take a cross section of the hair, you can see they actually have different shapes in their cross section. Straight hair is pretty much perfectly cylindrical, whereas the wavier or curvier you get, it gets more and more into an ellipses or an elliptical shape. So again, all of you do not need to know this in terms of cutting your hair down and looking at what the cross section is to determine your hair type. It is obviously that you can see it more visibly with if you have curly or straight hair, but all of these hair types are really crucial in understanding what hair products are best for you. Especially with curl pattern, I've also noted here that those curlier and more coily hair types are also more porous, meaning they absorb more water when exposed to water in the shower or in the atmosphere. That, of course, means that that hair might get more frizzy if they live in a humid environment, or the hair might become weaker every time you shower, and thusly you need to use less harsh forms of brushing or styling your hair. So really maintain kind of an understanding of your unique hair pattern or hair type when approaching your hair care routine. And I will finish up here in the physiology of your hair by also identifying your scalp. Your scalp is a crucial player in the performance of your hair care products. It is an extension of your facial skin. It too has the multiple layers of your skin, the epidermis, the dermis, and the hypodermis. And there's been a recent trend in the personal care industry of prioritizing the skinification of the scalp, where you're treating your scalp with specialized exfoliating or hydrating and moisturizing ingredients like you would treat the skin on your face. Many scientists think this is silly because, of course, you're going to treat skin like skin, but in many ways, it allows for a transformation of basic shampoo and conditioners into something so much more. And I would greatly say that the Bodolab products are more in that consideration and in that category. We go beyond just cleansing and hydrating your hair. Furthermore, your scalp boasts a powerful microbiome. There's a balance of beneficial bacteria that ensures your skin is happy and healthy. But if this microbiome is unbalanced or disturbed, negative organisms can begin to populate the skin. For example, Melissesia furfur is a type of fungal species, I believe, that can actually create dandruff. So again, understanding your hair type also creates the understanding of your scalp. Is it oily? Is it dry? Are you prone to dandruff? And is that because of your products, or perhaps is that because of a microbial imbalance? All of this is important to know. But now we finally come to hair and the Remon products. And in all products of the Bodolab Deserticola line, we have our Deserticola Plus ingredient. Now, scientists were exploring the desert and they found a specific microalgal strain that was surviving despite the arid conditions of the desert. They began to take various extracts to understand how it was surviving such arid conditions, and they found a specific metabolite called loleolide. Once this was discovered in 2019, we began collaborating with Dr. Hee-Sik Kim, who is a researcher at the Korea Research Institute of Bioscience and Biotechnology, and he helped us create a patented extract of loleolide that is 12 times more concentrated than standard traditional sources alone. And so this is what is promoting maximum scalp and hair health in the Deserticola products. Now, lolilide is known to interact with the dermal cells within the hair follicle. So at that base of the hair follicle with the hair bulb, as I pointed out, lolilide has function here. It possesses antioxidative properties, so protective properties against UV rays, and anti-apoptotic properties, essentially reducing cell death. Now, positioned here, I have some research papers on lolilide, specifically showing and illuminating its role in benefiting the hair follicle. Here we see essentially Deserticola specifically regulating hair inductivity, essentially the hair growth pathway via specific signaling pathways in human dermal papilla cells. So essentially the Deserticola and the lolilide present in Deserticola is able to alter or encourage the hair growth pathway via signaling pathways and signaling molecules. Back here, we see that the lolilide regulates hair follicle inductivity, again, hair follicle growth of human dermal papilla cells, again, through a signaling pathway. So it directly is able to regulate this presence of specific signaling molecules to help maintain hair density or hair thickness. Now, many of you may know in Korea, the products are tested and proven to reduce hair loss, which is different from promoting hair growth. It helps you maintain the hair you already have. That said, in the US and in Canada, that is a strictly regulated claim. You must use a monographed drug in your product to promote that it reduces hair loss. So we say instead that it helps maintain hair thickness or maximum hair density, which is absolutely the case. You maintain those hair follicles for longer to really allow for a return of thickness to your scalp in strands. Now, beyond the Zerticola Plus in formulation, we also have chlorella oil in all formulas. This is a powerful ingredient in that it contains various vitamins and minerals and amino acids that function both for your scalp, but your strands as well. It's rich in biotin and sulfur. If you'll remember that cortex has disulfide bonds, and it also contains chlorophyll, which is an antioxidant agent. Now, in terms of the vitamins, it's actually rich in vitamin A, which may help produce sebum on the scalp, which really can help for those with dry hair scalps. It furthermore contains all 9 essential amino acids, which are the building blocks for protein synthesis. Lastly, what's key about the chlorella oil is that it's an upcycled ingredient. And so if this is a new term for you, upcycling essentially is utilizing what is otherwise discarded waste and creating something better than the original product. So at my old company, we used to sell a byproduct of apples, and the apples were used in the food industry and squeezed to create apple juice, and you had the leftover apple pulp, and we created an ingredient from the apple pulp, which otherwise was going to be tossed out. So that is what is happening here with the chlorella oil. It is using parts of the chlorella that otherwise were going to be discarded. Lastly, in all products, we have wild olive stem cells, and this is a comprehensive ingredient that looks at the beautification of the whole hair from scalp to strands, and it really is looking to maintain protection and reinforce strength, regeneration of the hair, and it is rich in plant lipids to maintain the conditioning of your hair strands. And lastly, before we get into the 3 products in the line, we also are proudly V-Label certified in all Bodolab products. So Swan Male Body Care as well carries the V-Label certification. Now, V-Label was established in 1996 in Switzerland, and over 70,000 products with more than 4,800 licensees now carry the V-Label. This, of course, is allowing us to maintain that these products are entirely vegan and that each utilization of these products respects not only your body, but the environment as well. That goes without saying for any Remon product. We are cruelty-free in every category, but with the Bodolab products, we went one step further with getting them certified. And so we finally get to the products themselves, really the gist of this call today. And that first product is our cleansing opportunity, the Deserticola Plus shampoo. Simplistic in its approach, it is robust in the benefits for your hair. It gently cleanses your scalp and hair while also keeping that nourishment of the hair follicle. It's removing the buildup of oil and of debris with gentle surfactants. Now, because the cleansing molecules in this system are so gentle, if you have a lot of hair or very oily hair, you might want to go in more than once with this cleanser, perhaps twice. Our GM, Betty Perez, has a lot of hair, so she goes in twice with this shampoo to really get an efficient clean. It's also important to really work it into your scalp. Create a nice lather, roughly 30 seconds to a minute, massaging it into your scalp before you completely rinse it away. With the Deserticola Plus, or excuse me, oh my goodness, Deserticola Plus shampoo, we have all of those key ingredients plus the gentle surfactants to really maintain follicular health and cleansing at the same time. Now, next you would go in with your Deserticola Plus conditioner. Again, simple in its initial approach, but powerful in its performance for the hair. It fortifies your strands with oils and conditioning polymers while repairing damaged cuticles and leaving a healthy shine. Now, with any conditioner, the performance comes from those conditioning polymers. They are positively charged and they bind to the negative charge of your hair. As you wash away the conditioner, it leaves behind those polymers to really maintain the conditioning and all the different aesthetic benefits you want, the hydration and the softness and the shine. But with those conditioning polymers, they also bind to any insoluble materials like fragrance or like natural oils as well. So those also get deposited to the hair. What's unique about our conditioner is that it is in a water format and it thickens and creams as it comes in contact with the water in your shower or bath. Essentially, the dissolution of specific ingredients and formulation or those ingredients dissolving in the water in your shower or bath is an exothermic reaction. So it releases heat as it comes in contact with water, which gives that slight warming effect, but also allows for the thickening of the formulation to create that somewhat cream consistency. Now, if you're looking for the maintenance of hair density, you want to apply this product using a built-in nozzle to your scalp directly. If you're someone like myself that is just looking for the conditioning benefits, you can easily apply from the mid to the ends of the hair, work it in for 30 seconds to a minute, or leave it in for upwards of 5 minutes as a conditioning treatment, and then rinse away with the water in your shower. Really, to get good deposition of this product, I also recommend parting your hair and removing any excess water before applying the product. This is a tip I have seen with many different conditioners and masks to get true deposition of all of these different ingredients on the hair. So you want to remove, or rather, move sections so that you have smaller sections to more easily cover those hair sections, and of course, remove some of the water to get really good deposition. And then we finish with the Desertico Plus Hair Oil Serum. This is a 5-in-1 hair oil that not only leaves a finishing shine, but it has heat protection up to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. It reduces frizz, maintains style volume, and it reinforces damaged cuticles. Not only does it include those key ingredients listed, but it also has giant young pole extract and it has what's known as C-Plex. C-Plex is a fantastic ingredient. It is derived from seaweed actually, and it was designed for use in bleaching treatments in terms of repairing the damage coming from those bleaching treatments. So if we believe bleaching to be the most damaging form of treatment, then it can benefit those hairs that are even less damaged and beyond. Really looking to maintain shine, reduction in frizz, reduction in porosity and breakage, and reducing damage and erosion. This can be applied directly out of the shower on wet hair, on towel dried hair or air dried hair, styled hair as well, and hair throughout the day. It is whenever your hair needs it. And so that summarizes our discussion today on the hair physiology and the different products we have. This is just the beginning for the Deserticola Plus products. There is so much in store for hair care with Remon. I'm excited that y'all have got to try these out and experience the beginning, but just know that there is more in store. And so I pass it back on to you, Tracy.
Wow, amazing. Did you guys learn something tonight? I know I sure did. And I can tell you, like I said, I do use all three of these products, love every single one of them. And if I had to pick my favorite out of the all three, it certainly would be this oil. Like this has been a game changer for me. And I don't know if, I love using hair oils and hair serums, but in the past, I felt like it was always kind of heavy. I had to be a little bit, careful about making sure my hair didn't look greasy. This is so light, such a clean smell, absolutely beautiful. And Angie, so I know we don't have time for a lot of questions, but just, is this good for all types of hair? Can any hair use this line?
Great question. So yes, because the formulations are created to be so gentle in their approach, the gentle surfactants in the cleanser, the conditioner having beneficial ingredients for any hair type with conditioning polymers and the natural oils. we invite any hair type or individual with any hair type to try out the products. Of course, you might simply have to adjust how you use these products based on your hair type. As I've mentioned, you might need to go in twice with the shampoo if you have curly or thicker hair or more hair. You might have to go in with the conditioner for a longer period to really saturate your strands. So, long story short, yes, we invite everyone to try it out based on your hair type, but be open to adjusting your use habits based on your hair type as well.
Good. Okay. And I know lots of people have been answering the questions along the way here. And I did also hear that there's more coming in the Vodalab line. Now I'm curious, like what's coming? She probably can't tell us that though, right? Can you? Maybe she can.
I mean, I can certainly give little hints, and I will say this is something I always say is that we want your feedback, we want your demands. We don't want to make products that have no purpose in your life. So continue to send in stuff and think about the things you might have already sent in and know that there are always going to be possibilities. So one of the greatest things is, of course, we relaunched these products last year. We've received a lot of feedback on them, both good and perhaps requiring old to return. So we are looking at ways in which we can satisfy the current feedback in terms of the pre-existing formulations, the current formulations, and then extending beyond that in formats. Of course, there's so many different things you can apply to your hair. There is hair masks. There are other shampoos and conditioners for color treated hair or for graying hair. So we're looking at every different category in that regard.
I love that. I love the options, right? And I know that some people did get to experience the OG hairline that love it, and can't wait for it to come back as well. And I know other people who are loving the one that we have right now. Most people are loving it. And so anyways, we're gonna have options. So we get to choose. So what's best for you, right? All right, let's see if
Absolutely.
there's any somebody did ask about thinning. I know we talked about thinning. We can't make any medical claims. We can't claim that it's does, promotes hair growth of any sort or anything, but it does help with density, less shedding of the hair, those types of things. Okay. See anything else in there, Angie? Dry scalp. It should definitely help with dry scalp and dandruff. I know personally, I have a friend who uses this line and she told me like her scalp was so irritated to the point like it almost bled. And she said this is the only line that has soothed her scalp to where it's not painful and she's not itchy. And again, like this
Good.
testimonial from somebody, not making any claims of any sort publicly, but
Yeah.
it's her testimonial.
And I will say honestly, the power really does come from the testimonial because we know certain things and I can allude to certain things that Korea has testing of, but we can't say here. There's so much that comes from just seeing the pictures, hearing the stories, and how these three products were so basic in their initial appearance are so robust in what they can do for you.
Okay, and last one, because this has come up a couple of times, because hair tends to become quite soft. People are asking about it maybe not holding curl. Would there be anything that you could help with that?
That's a great question. So it ultimately depends on your unique hair type. So if you're going to have thicker or more coarser hair, it naturally is going to hold a curl a bit better versus finer hair or thinner hair. So if you already are having issue holding a curl without the products, it's difficult to determine how the products will influence that because of course we're looking to condition the hair further with these products. It's going to make the hair even softer if you already have fine hair. That said, with especially the use of the hair oil serum, we're maintaining heat protection in that product. So the use of a curling system or curler or even a straight iron at least will not introduce any damage, which in turn might help the hair hold a curl longer because it's not damaged, if that makes sense. So long story short, there's not necessarily any fixatives in the products to help curl maintain its shape longer, but there's protective ingredients that can help hair curl naturally, avoid less fall, so to speak, or style fall.
Awesome. Okay. Well, we are going to carry on. If you guys loved what you heard from Angie, put it in the chat, give her some love. Thank you so much for your time, Angie, tonight. We really, really, really appreciate it. Don't go anywhere. We're not done. Okay. And in the chat, again, if you are a guest, when you are giving us responses, let us know if you are a guest. And I do want you to think what is your biggest hair challenge? So if there's one thing that you would like to change about your hair, one thing that drives you crazy about your hair, what would that be? So that's my question to you. Okay. So we are going to get rolling here again and get onto our testimonials. So let's bring this back up and here we go. Okay. So I love testimonials. Anybody else love testimonials? I always say pictures are worth 1,000 words. Somebody's own story, somebody's own feel for a product or what they got from that product says so much. So we're going to look at that tonight. So here's just a couple of pictures. I mean, we could give you picture after picture after picture. I'm constantly getting pictures, whether it's our skincare, our hair care, like we are constantly getting before and afters from people, and I love that because it says so much about our products. I just got a new one, 2 days ago from the skincare, and I'm like, these just come in, and like I'm hardly asking for them. And of course, we have before and afters also of our hair care. So again, not making any medical claims here. I am just showing you some pictures and some progress and dates that people have taken. Okay. Now, this is my friend Michelle. She's actually a hairstylist herself. I'm going to play this video. It's a little bit noisy in the background because she is at her hairstylist, but I want you to listen and hear what her hairstylist has to say. Okay. So this is Michelle's old growth, and I'm going to show you all her new hair that's grown. All those little hair that's popping out, that's all new hair. I've been cutting Michelle's hair for years now, and I've never seen her grow this much density ever. I'm going to do another section. So this is the top section. And now the shorter ones are the newest growth. The middle ones are probably 4 to 6 months. And then this length is her old stuff from a year plus. Huh. Crazy. Crazy. Wow. Right. Again, that's just a testimonial, somebody sharing what they've seen. Okay. This is my friend Georgette. She is also a hairstylist. So we're just going to hear from her.
Hi, my name is Georgette and I'm from Edmonton, Alberta. And I have been a hairstylist for 43 years. I have a salon in my home and I also work in a senior's home 2 days a week. And I have fallen in love with this Remont shampoo and conditioner and the serum. My little clients at the senior's home are from 75 to 102. And I use that on their scalps every week for their weekly washes and sets. And the scalp health and how beautiful their hair is and the integrity is amazing. Absolutely amazing. It is the best product that I have used in a very, very long time in our industry. And we have seen a lot of changes over the last 40 years in product. Bye for now.
Aw, look at, she's treating the 90-year-olds and giving them a scalp treatment. So awesome. So thank you, Georgette, for sharing that. We're going to move on to Robin, and this is her testimonial of our hair care.
Hi, my name is Robin. I love the hair care line. I can't say enough about it. When I started a couple years ago, my hair was short. I was trying to grow it out. I had to put extensions in my hair so I wouldn't go crazy. And the hair care was great with the extensions. I was really worried about it harming it, but now it's been a year since I've had extensions. This is all my own hair and my scalp has never been healthier. Couple of things about it that I will mention is that not only does it help strengthen the hair, my hair has never been softer. I live on an acreage that has really, it doesn't have hard water, but it's got silty water that I used to have to strip my hair every week with a stripping shampoo. I've no longer have had to strip my hair for the last 2 years, which also helps with the scalp health. So I used to never be able to go longer than 2 days without washing my hair because of my dry flaky scalp. And this is day 5 since I've washed it. And my scalp is in great condition. My stylist tells me that all the time. This is such an amazing product. I use the serum, the conditioner, and the shampoo. Love it.
So amazing. I remember 2 years ago when she was like, my hair is just like stuck and I need to grow it. And she's putting extensions in, and look at that, all her hair right now. So that's pretty cool. Okay, this is Laura. Let's hear her testimonial.
When I started using Remon hair products, I didn't have any huge expectations really, just because I have such thick hair naturally. And a lot of the feedback I'd heard from people was that it helped quite a bit for them with hair growth. So I started using it, and my biggest concerns were actually my scalp. So traditionally had very dry, itchy scalp. Within a week of using the Bodolab line, my scalp felt incredible, like no itching, flaking kind of all gone. So that was huge. But what surprised me the most was that after about 8 months, I noticed that I had like this whole kind of little curtain of baby hairs growing in that were not there before. And again, you know, my hair is so naturally thick. I was not expecting that. So was absolutely thrilled to see that even my big, thick mane of hair, there was still some areas that were getting sparse that are now growing in beautifully. So happy to say I've had amazing results with the skincare and the hair care.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Now I know that Leah has put in the chat her stepdad. This is her stepdad. Okay. And she showed the before and after picture. Again, this is a picture. No claims here, but let's have a look at what he has to say.
Hi, my name is Brian Allen, and my wife is a rep for Remon. I have been using her products for 2 years now. And for the last 2 years, I've been shampooing and conditioning with the Remon products. Now you've got to know that before I started using Remon shampoo, I was considered bald on top. I had hair on the side, but my hair was always thin and weak, even from the time I was a teenager. So now, 2 years later, and I have this full head of hair that my wife and friends, and I'm a teacher, my students even notice, like they're asking me, where did I get the hair?
Denser hair coming in. The men are loving this. The men are loving this line.
Hi.
Okay. Whoops. Sorry, we did that again. Okay. This is Danny also. So we're going to hear from her. She's also, I'll let her introduce. Oh, hold on. Wait. I gotta go back. There we go.
Hi everyone, I'm just here to talk to you about a Desert Eye Cola shampoo and conditioner and hair serum. Now I'm a retired hairdresser and have been in the hairdressing industry for over 35 years. That shows how old I am. I have worked for many different companies when it comes to hair care, and have seen lots of different fads and trends when it comes to hair and how to style it and help keep it healthy. I started using Remon shampoo and conditioner probably about 3 years ago. Now my hair's naturally curly and I do colour it, and I also have psoriasis, so I was very skeptical when it was time to try these products, but I can happily report that they are fantastic. I have many customers that actually love the shampoo and conditioner. Not only does your hair feel soft and the shine is very dominant when you use the hair serum, but they've noticed that the hair loss has actually receded and they don't have so much hair loss and breakage when it comes to their hair. So I love the product and I love how it makes my hair feel. Thank you.
Amazing. I love hearing from the hairstylists, right? This is their expertise and they're saying like, this is the best. So here we're going to hear actually a live testimonial from my friend Angela Ciccone. She is here in Calgary as well. And she actually has an in-home, she's a hairstylist, but she works out of her house. So her business is in her home. And just, you know, if you want to take a couple minutes, Angela, you can unmute yourself and just share what, you know, how that helps you. Like, you know, you're a planner, you have these products on your shelf, obviously, and I know you sell a lot of hair care. So just feel free to unmute and let us hear from you.
I think I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. As you can see from my headshot, that was about a year ago. And if you see me now, my hair is a lot longer than it was. I've done hair for over 30 years and always stuck to salon products. Started this one about 6+ months ago. Love it. Recommend it to all my clients. My daughter is part of a show band and her scalp was terrible from all the hairspray, the sweat. Her scalp was no longer dry. Like there was points where our doctor was going to give her medication, and again, not making any medical claims, but her scalp is so healthy and happy. And I keep telling my clients, healthy, happy scalp means healthy, happy hair. As you can tell, I color my hair. I actually just had it done the other day, and it doesn't feel like I've had a bunch of foils of bleach in my hair. And I do. Um, it's just a wonderful product. It's helped a lot of my clients with slow growing hair, with just putting that moisture back at the scalp. I saw a lot of questions in regards to your hair not holding curl. It probably took me about 2 to 3 months of using it, and now my hair curls great. This is the first product that I can wash my hair and straighten it, and day 3, I can curl it and get this curl. And it holds. I think you just have to be consistent. I wash my hair maybe twice a week. It doesn't feel oily or greasy. I work out 4 times a week, and so I'm sweating and my hair still curls. I shake the ponytail out, maybe add 4 or 5 curls. If you have any questions, like, this product line has been amazing for me. It healed my skin. And like they said, the scalp is an extension of our face. My scalp is happy. My hair is happy. All my clients' hair that use it, they're happy. And I'd love to answer any questions if anyone has any.
That's amazing. Yeah. So guys, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and Angela can pipe in there. Thank you so much for sharing. So great. Okay, we have another live testimonial. Her name is Nona. So Nona, if you are on, you can also unmute yourself and we would love to hear from you.
Hello. Boy, it's so exciting to hear all these other hairstylists on here. I have literally been behind the chair working professionally for over 60 years. And unlike some of the other people, I don't have any clients that I shampoo set, those kinds of things. I work with all different ages, men and women, and I just had a blast. I've been an apprentice, a stylist, a manager. I've been a product specialist, educator, platform artist, I call this, at big hair shows. I've been all over, all over the world, so to speak. It's all these years, but I found that the industry had a lot of toxic and cancer-causing ingredients and hormone disruptors and all those things. And I've tried to align myself with companies that were, more progressive and had better ingredients. And I've been disappointed a lot until Remon. And I want to thank Christy Belliston for inviting me to this business. That I have found the products being just totally amazing. I've had clients who have had a lot of medical issues, and I always send people, if I notice anything, anything that looks like it might be cancerous or some other infection or something, I always send them to a licensed medical person, professional, dermatologist. That's something that's really important to me because there are some there's some categories of things that require actually medicine from internal medicine because they're difficult to treat. So that's been important to me to be able to recommend people, and then they come back to me and I can set up a system. So I've had people who've had thyroid issues and anemia and other kinds of conditions that, of course, I can't treat those, but I can help them with their hair growth and even surgeries of people being in ICU for a week or 10 days. I mean, there's the antibiotics, all those things. It makes a difference in the hair. So to have a product line that's vegan, that's healthy and creates a good atmosphere for the hair to grow, it's been fabulous to be using these products for the last couple of years. And I mean, the shampoo gives you this rich, luxurious shampoo. It's not just any old shampoo. That I love the the conditioner because you can put it right on your scalp. I've got some clients who've had some hair loss, and this one of my clients, she said it's comforting. Now, how many times has anybody said something about, oh, gee, my conditioner is comforting? Not ever. But this particular product, because of the warmth, the thermogenic properties of it, it's really nice and it emulsifies beautifully instead of just putting on the ends of the hair or keeping it off the scalp like most even dermatologists tell my clients. Oh, only put conditioner on your ends of your hair. Well, this is meant to go on the scalp if it's needed. And the serum is fabulous because people using so many hot tools nowadays. It really seals the seals the cuticle of the hair, and I love that. People are having really great results with it. And I have personally have baby fine color treated hair, and my hair has never been better. I've had people compliment all the time on my hair, and of course, no one has any idea that I'm almost 80. So I love it. It's fabulous.
Wow. Say, wow. Do you guys hear that? It's almost 80. That's amazing. And I couldn't agree more. I love that we have, it's healthy, you know. We avoid over 3,000 toxic ingredients in our whole entire line. And to know that we don't have those hormone disruptors and all the nasty toxins or anything like that, just like, I love that. So, and I know, you know, as a mom, having my daughter use these products, feeling safe that it is something that she can use, right? We have one more testimonial that I want you guys to hear. Her name is Chris Kelly. And then after that, we're going to give our giveaway and then we're going to wrap this up. So here we go.
Hi, Tracy. Thank you for having me. Hi, everyone. I am Chris Kelly. I am a hair and makeup artist with over 2 decades of experience, from the New York Fashion Week runways to having the privilege of working with politicians and celebrities and media personalities behind the camera, getting them camera ready. And my company that I have is committed to clean and high quality products. And when I was brought to this company and looked at their products, I was so amazed. And when I found out about the hair care system, I put it to work right away. I'm very picky about my products, so I'm just very detailed about toxins and all the things in products that work. So when I tried the Bottle Lab, I had extensions in at the time, and I'm done taking them out a little bit, except for a couple of pops of color. But I liked it because my scalp felt really clean. I didn't have as much fallout into my extensions. Sometimes scalps can get a little irritable with the extra weight. It just really just calms all that down. And then the conditioner with extensions, you know, it's not attached to your head, so you don't have all the oils and things like that. So so when you put that in there, it makes the hair nice and soft, and it's not heavy. And then of course you have the oil afterwards to keep the extensions nice and polished, because again, they do dry out. They're not attached to your heads. And the combination of these three have been so overwhelmingly just so popular with my clients at the salon and beyond the chair. So I even have my clients that are, you know, going through GLP-1s or menopause or a lot of, you know, hair loss situations, medications, things like that. And the Desertola in these products help so much with inflammation. Inflammation is like number one thing about losing hair. And when you calm the scalp down, when you take care of the scalp, just like a garden, when you take care of the soil and you give the right fertilizer and things like that, things blossom and grow. And that's my experience with this Bottle Lab. And here's my bottle. It's all dirty. I've taken it out of my shower. I use it all the time. And then of course we have the conditioner, the water conditioner. And I love when you put it in the hair, when I go from the mid shaft down and I squirt it on there, and then the water starts mixing with it, and you just feel this luxurious just velvety feel on your hair, and it's not heavy. It doesn't weigh the hair down, which is what I love. And of course I put the hair oil on before I blow dry, and I also do it like after I blow dry. And when you have extensions, you don't wash all the time, so it's a quick refresh on the ends to make them shiny and polished and not dried out because you haven't washed in a couple of days. And the other thing is that you don't have to use a heavy clarifying shampoo, because this really cleans your scalp. It does amazing things. It just takes all the buildup out of there without being so harsh, which is number one for me, because a lot of clarifying shampoos, they just really rip all the oils out, and it sometimes leaves your scalp kind of irritated. And you have to be very careful with clarifying shampoos, but not with this. So if you're a hairstylist and you have clients with extensions or clients going through a lot of hair loss situations, you want to try this. Try it on yourself. You're going to fall in love with it. Look at all the yummy ingredients, and it's just overall a phenomenal product, and I am so happy with it, and you will be too.
All right, there we go. So let's give it up for all of our testimonials tonight. Love hearing from so many different people. We're getting the same message, right? Everybody loves it. Everyone loves it. You got to give it a shot. So this is our Bodalab. Like I said, we have our shampoo, our water treatment conditioner, and our hair serum. Anybody that has these right now in their shower, are you just like just craving? Like you're just like, oh my gosh, I need to go wash my hair again, hearing everybody talk about it, right? Like I want to go wash my hair. I want to go have a shower right now, and treat my scalp. So giveaway time. Our behind the scenes Susan has been looking and checking. So she's got the spin wheel. Do you see her? Where is she?
I'm right here.
Okay. There she is. Okay, she's going to tell us our winner tonight. Thank you all for participating. So here we go, Susan.
All
Let's spin
right, I'm
away.
spinning the wheel. Here we go. It's spinning, it's spinning. Okay, Karen Erickson is the winner.
Okay, so exciting. Karen, you're going to get a hair serum on us tonight as your free gift in the, I'm just going to place in the chat. If you can email me, please, to claim your prize, we will get that off to you. So I'm putting in the chat my email. Please make sure that you grab that. Shoot me a quick email and we will get that prize off to you as quickly as we can. So once again, thank you so very much for your time tonight. I love spending these Thursdays with you guys, learning about products and all the things. And I hope that it was beneficial and you learned something about your hair. And if you haven't given these a shot, you definitely want to grab them. So have a good one. And thanks again so much for being here.